It's your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 times, and I'm back with another episode of Hood Tales. In this video, let's take it to Indianapolis, Indiana, to discuss the tragic 2022 slaying of Andre Smith after his on-again, off-again girlfriend, Galen Morris, snapped after she caught him cheating. But before we get into this video, I'd like to say a big thank you to our supporters. We appreciate you and we hope you stick around. If you'd like to support the channel monetarily, you can find the information on the screen. And to support us for absolutely no cost, please hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and join the Tony 2 Times family. Tap that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Also, this video is sponsored by yours truly, Mrs. Tony 2 Times, and my YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out and support me. I'll leave the link to it in the description box below. And be sure to share this video with everyone you know. Stay tuned until the end to hear all the details. All right, let's get into it. Toxic relationships filled with lies, deceit, and cruel intentions that go on too long never ends well. It's so important to know your self-worth in any relationship. Someone who is willing to use you for their benefit will take advantage of the love you have for them, as long as you're willing to let them use you. We have to be very careful not to give too much to anyone who gives you sweet nothings in return. Delusion can lead you down a dark and obsessive path. Once a person shows you who they are through their actions and the way they treat you, believe them. The relationship between Galen Morris and Andre Smith began when they were teenagers. According to Galen, Andre was the love of her life and the only man she ever loved since she was 15. Galen would do anything and everything to keep Andre in her life. Andre, on the other hand, had a different outlook on his relationship with Galen. Andre consistently dated other women while in an off-again, on-again relationship with Galen. Andre had a relationship with another woman that resulted in a beautiful baby girl. Galen still wanted Andre by her side despite the other women in his life. According to Galen, Andre would sometimes put her down by criticizing her weight, which affected her self-esteem. She felt like Andre led her on based on what she could do and did for him. Andre and Galen lived together. She did all the things a dutiful girlfriend or wife would do. She would cook for him, clean, give him money, and whatever he needed to keep him coming back to her. On the other hand, Andre never hid his lifestyle or his true feelings for Galen. She was very aware that Andre was never committed to her or their relationship. Galen was willing to stick around, hoping one day all the effort she put into trying to keep Andre around would pay off. However, after 10 years, Galen began to realize that Andre still wasn't going to commit to her. On Thursday, June 2nd, 2022, the dynamics between Andre and Galen were coming to a head. That week, Galen was consistently going back and forth with Andre about him seeing other women. Galen found out about one woman Andre was dating named Kenya. In an effort to keep track of Andre's whereabouts, Galen used an AirTag she placed in his car. Andre found out about the tracking device on June 1st and told Galen that it was a crazy thing to do and to leave him alone. Galen ended up getting in touch with Kenya on Facebook. She went off on Kenya, expressing that she is pressed over Andre because of what she provided for him. She let Kenya know that Andre was living with her and she was taking care of him. And if she wanted him, then she needed to come and get his things. Galen also contacted Andre and told him to come and get his belongings, and she was putting him out. Her family advised her to break up with Andre for good. Galen would end up speaking with Andre's child's mother, who also advised her that she should leave Andre alone and move on with her life. Kenya even told her the same thing along those lines. But Galen wasn't ready to give up without a fight. Galen threatened Kenya with a fight and wanted to meet up. Galen also tried to lure Andre back to her with offers of money and intimacy. When Andre asked her if she was going to cook on the day of June 2nd, Galen thought that it meant he was coming back home. She told him yes and prepared a meal for him. However, as the night went on and Andre didn't show up, Galen was hurt and became enraged. She called him repeatedly and texted him. He ignored her most of the time until she mentioned a gun and the probability of using it. A few more phone calls and texts in between them were exchanged, with Andre mentioning that he would call the police if she did something, but that wasn't revealed in the text messages. Galen began tracking Andre's whereabouts via the AirTag she placed in his car. She assumed that he was with Kenya and was ready to meet up and fight. She told Andre that she knew he was at a hotel and was with another woman. Andre told her to leave him alone once again, but again, Galen was not ready to let go. After tracking his location, she took it upon herself to pull up and confront Andre and the woman she thought was Kenya. Just after midnight, after stewing in anger and emotions all day, Galen found the bar she believed Andre was at with another woman. She asked multiple people outside Tilly's pub if they saw a guy in there with dreads with a woman. She told them that was her boyfriend and she had tracked him to the pub with an AirTag and she believed that he was cheating on her. Andre knew Galen had found his location and told the woman he was on a date with that Galen was at the front door. Just after 12:20 a.m. on Friday, June 3rd, 2022, Galen, wearing a pink bonnet, entered Tilly's in search of Andre and who she thought would have been Kenya. When she located Andre and the woman to confront them, to her surprise, it wasn't Kenya, but another woman named Tashiana. Galen ended up getting into a physical altercation with Tashiana. Galen grabbed an empty beer bottle as Andre got in between the two women and tried to break it up. Tashiana got the best of Galen and landed a few punches. During the altercation, the pub's owner asked all three of them to leave. Andre pulls Galen outside of the pub. The owner allows Andre and Tashiana to pay their tab and get their food before leaving. Outside of the pub, Galen got into her 2010 blue Chevy Impala that was parked in front of another establishment and waited for Andre to exit Tilly's. At this point, it's safe to say that Galen is filled with emotions, probably embarrassed, angry, hurt, and fed up with Andre choosing other women over her. As she sees Andre exit the pub, she presses the gas, revving her engine, and heads toward Andre. A staff member of Tilly's saw what Galen was about to do and got in front of the vehicle to stop her from hitting Andre. Galen ignored the staff member's intervention, backed up her car, drove around the staff member, hitting him with her mirror, and headed straight for Andre once again. This time, she was successful in hitting him with her car. Tashiana exits the pub and sees what's happening. Galen backs up her vehicle and goes forward once again, all while Andre lies helplessly underneath. Galen had struck Andre a total of 3 times, and he was pinned under Galen's Impala. He cried out for help, but no one could physically get to him. Tashiana begins to record Galen sitting in her Impala on the driver's side. Indianapolis police arrived at the scene at 12:32 a.m. on June 3rd. When officers arrived at the scene, it was chaotic, and they found 26-year-old Andre Smith pinned under the Chevy Impala, fighting for his life. Other emergency personnel arrived at the scene to render aid. 26-year-old Galen Morris was still at the scene when officers arrived. She appeared to be in a state of shock, unaware of the catastrophic damage she had caused. As police questioned witnesses at the scene, they learned of what happened, and Galen was taken into custody. Tragically, Andre Smith was pronounced gone at the scene 30 minutes later. His family was, of course, devastated by the sheer brutality of his passing. He left behind his loved ones and his 4-year-old daughter at the time. When Galen was questioned by investigators, she never denied hitting Andre with her car. She told them that she meant to hit Tashiana and that she and Andre lived together. He was her boyfriend, and he was cheating on her that night. She went to confront him and the woman she was with. She denied placing an AirTag in Andre's car and said she found him by driving around and stopping by a hotel he frequented by himself or with other women. She continued to canvass the area and found his car in the parking lot of Tilly's and was asking around for him. Detectives would confront her with a search warrant, and she later admitted to placing the AirTag in the backseat cup holder of Andre's car. Galen was subsequently charged with slaying Andre Smith, and she was held at Marion County Jail. Andre's family spoke of how his loss had impacted them. They said that Andre was in an on-again, off-again relationship with Galen, and at the time of the incident, they were not in a relationship. Galen had just become obsessed with his personal life. They believed that Galen was intentional in her actions and took Andre away from them and his daughter with malicious intent. Kenya Brown, the woman Galen found out Andre was dating, spoke to reporters and said that her and Andre were dating exclusively for months and that he was her boyfriend. She said her and Andre had plans together to start a business, and she was going to follow through with their plans in honor of him.
He was big on respecting women, and he would never argue with me. He was like a gentleman. He never let me touch the door. I would just let him know that I'm going to make him proud. There's a lot of things that we talked about business-wise that we were going to do. So I just want him not to worry about anything. I'm still going to put all the plans into effect. I'm going to do whatever we said we were going to do. I'm not going to let nobody or nothing stop what we had planned.
Andre was an up-and-coming entrepreneur and businessman and appeared to be doing well for himself. Galen went to trial in August 2023. The trial lasted 3 days. 10 witnesses, video surveillance, cell phone video, text messages, voice recordings, and phone records were among the evidence presented. The prosecution wanted a murder conviction, while the defense argued voluntary manslaughter. A timeline of Galen and Andre's relationship was laid out, as well as its tumultuous and toxic nature. And Galen's willingness to put up with Andre for all those years, although the relationship was one-sided and unhealthy. In the end, Galen Morris was convicted of the lesser charge and was later sentenced to 18 years in prison for slaying Andre Smith.
I just want to apologize to Andre's family for the hurt and pain that I caused, and to his daughter. And I understand that this is a tragic situation for everyone that sits in this courtroom, and I'm so sorry that I caused it.
Andre's family was dissatisfied with the outcome and hoped that she would have been convicted of the higher charge and given a stiffer penalty. May Andre Smith rest in peace. My belated condolences to Andre's family and loved ones. My well wishes go out to them. He didn't deserve to lose his life over allegations of cheating. Cheating does not constitute a life being taken. Galen should have had enough self-worth to walk away from Andre even before that tragic night. She should have heeded to the advice of others around her and break up with Andre for good. The relationship she sought after with Andre sent her down that path of delusion where she risked it all. Andre most likely led her on to believe that maybe one day he would be willing to settle down with her. In her mind, Andre was her man no matter what. She didn't care how many women he ended up with. She was willing to go at it with all of them. He was living with her. She took care of him, and somehow they found their way back to each other, even if Andre had no intentions of committing to Galen. Andre is now gone, and Galen will spend 18 years behind bars and a lifetime of coming to terms with what she has done. Fam, tell me your thoughts on this story in the comments below. Alright fam, that's it for this episode of Hood Tales. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times. Until next time.